Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So, let's get straight into it. The purpose of the video today, inshallah, will be to tell you guys how I memorized the Quran and my journey with the Quran, and how I was able to memorize the Quran in roughly 3 years and 4 months. It took me 3 years and 4 months to memorize the Quran. But just to give you a little backstory of how I got into it, I'm not going to focus on it too much, but I'm just going to give you like a little teaser. So I was in university in Australia, basically. I was in Curtin University, and I was also working part-time over there as well. It was a very different time and a different space to which I am right now. I was about 20, 21 years old, and I was working as a bouncer in a nightclub in Australia. So it was a very different mindset at that time as well. But Alhamdulillah, eventually I came back to my own country, Pakistan. This was during Corona, actually, like before Corona, like a month before the lockdown, actually. So I came back. It was just a casual visit to Pakistan, and like there was nothing extraordinary. I had to stay here for probably like 3 months and then just go back. But Corona happened, and I was stuck here. I couldn't go back. So that it was probably like a 2-year lockdown at that time, and we were not able to like leave our own countries, and we had to stay here. So it was a very difficult and challenging time as well, because I had recently graduated, and you know how it is. Like when you graduate, you get into a job, and then you start earning stuff like that. But I wasn't able to do so. But Allah Ta'ala had His own plans for me as well. My mother actually pushed me. She was like, it was my dream that you memorize the Quran, and now like you've done your studies, you've completed your studies. So I want you to get into memorizing the Quran. So I told her, I was like, it's a very difficult task, because when I came back, I was around 24 years old. And she said, like, if you don't do it, like, I'm not going to talk to you. I was like, Mom, come on, like, I've come back like after 2 years. And she actually, she became like, she stopped talking to me actually. And I was like, Mom, come on, like, what are you doing? It's not like, it's not a big deal. Like, I can't do it. Like, it's a very, it's almost like a 600-page book, She was like, no, you have to do it. It's like a dream of mine. I wanted you to memorize the Quran like it's my entire life. Like, I've been thinking that as soon as you graduate, I'm going to tell you to do this. So it took me like probably 18 days to think about it, go over it, because I'm the type of person, like when I get into something, like I go into it like deep. Like I don't leave it until I'm done, So I was thinking about it. I was like, yeah, if I start this, I'm not going to be able to like stop until I like memorize the entire thing. So I was thinking like, what about my career? What I'm going to do, like, I need money as well. Like I've just graduated, the multiple things like coming into my mind. But I was like, I wanted to like make my mother happy as well. And she did actually stop talking to me. She didn't speak to me for 18 days. I was like, okay, Mom, like if it makes you happy, that was the intention in the beginning. I was like, Mom, if it makes you happy, I'm going to start memorizing the Quran. But in my head, I'm thinking, I'm like, I'm just going to do it for a while, and then I'm going to stop. Like, I'm not going to do it like continue. Like, it's just to like make my mom happy, and then I'm done, But what happened was lockdown came in, and everything shut down. Like every business shut down. Like there were no jobs, and we were like stuck at home, So I had nothing to do. It was like Allah Subhanahu wa Taala like shut down the entire world just so I could sit down and memorize the Quran. Like it was something like I couldn't fathom at that time. I was like, what is happening, So eventually, alhamdulillah, I started memorizing the Quran. It was really hard in the beginning. But anybody who's starting to memorize the Quran, like I'm going to give you one advice. So everybody who's going to, you're going to tell somebody like you're memorizing the Quran, everybody's going to say, oh, why are you doing it in the first place? Like we don't need like people who have memorized the Quran. Like I got a lot of backlash from society, especially because I was 24 years old, and everybody was like, you need to get into your career. Why are you memorizing the Quran? We have it preserved. that we have digital things, like a laptop or like your phone as well. So we have the Quran preserved in these things. Why are you memorizing the Quran? This was like ancient times, 1400 years ago when we didn't have technology. Then you had to memorize stuff like this. And it was a lot of backlash. And you're going to get backlash in these things. So my advice to everybody is, if you're going to start, there will be backlash, but you have to like fight through it. Like, you don't have to let it get through your head that, oh, I'm getting backlash from everybody, I can't, continue this. Because once you go on a journey with the Quran, or like towards an Islamic journey, like learning more about the religion, there will always be backlash. So you have to be mentally prepared for that. So without further ado, let's get into how I started memorizing the Quran, and like what techniques did I use, and overall, like what was like how did I complete the Quran, like memorizing, because it's something like you have to do consistently every day, because you're gonna start forgetting it. This is something that does come with memorizing the Quran. Like if you're not fluent, like if you're not revising it daily, you will start to forget it. So this is going to be a problem. But first, let me show you how to do it. Yeah. First, what you do is, I have Surah Baqarah opened here. So you can download an app. It's called Quran Majid. I'm gonna chuck it on the screen as well, inshallah. It has like the options that you get with the app is you can put one ayah on repeat and continuously listen to it. So you can pick your favorite reciter. And you can even like increase the speed as well. If you increase the speed and just listen to it over and over and over again, and you then recite with the reciter as well. What that's going to do is going to improve your recitation, and along with that, it's also going to help you memorize the Quran as well. I also recommend that you don't think about the entire book, like, oh, I have to memorize the entire thing. It's a really big book. Like, that'll give you anxiety. So you don't want anxiety. You just have to focus on what you're doing that day, and don't worry about the entire Quran. Like eventually it's going to come, but in the beginning it's going to be really hard, and shaitan is going to put waswasa in you as well. He's not going to let you memorize it because you'll constantly be forgetting. It's very hard to like retain the Quran, especially as you age. Like I started memorizing when I was 24, and I completed memorizing when I was about 27. So it's very hard unless you're like a child, because your brain is empty at that time, and there's not a lot of distractions, so you can memorize the Quran very easily at that age. But as you age, it's going to become really hard. So alright, so this is how I'm going to do it. Yeah. So first off, I've got Surah Baqarah opened up here, and I'm just going to set the settings. It's going to be the reciter that I like is Mishari Rashid Al-Afasi. Because my voice is closer to his naturally, and you have to select the reciter based on your voice as well, and especially the reciter that you like listening to, because if you don't like the recitation, you're not going to stick with it for long. So Mishari is basically a universal kind of like his style. So I would recommend that you do it. If Mishari does not resonate with you, it's not necessary that you follow him. But it's Mishari is one of the easier reciters to follow, and especially you have to when you're reciting with Mishari, he changes the tone as well depending on what's being said, and depending on the mood as well. You change the melody basically. So there are like I think 8 or 10 maqamat in which you can shift the tonality, and depending on the mood and what's being said as well. So the reciter that I've set it to is Mishari. The range is going to be 1 ayah. The range repeat is going to be like 50 times. And the playback speed, I've increased it to 1.2x. Because like at one point I was memorizing like in the entire page, or maybe like 2 pages a day. So that was really time consuming, So I started to like speed up the ayat, and take and get quickly like memorize it, and like just move on with the day. We're gonna start, and I'm gonna show you guys how to do it. Yeah. So I'm gonna skip Alif Lam Mim because that's easy. So I'm gonna start with the second ayah. Yeah.
ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين
So you have to listen to it as many times as you want just to get the melody. And once you get the melody, you start to repeat after him, yeah?
ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين
ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين. And you repeat it as many times as you want to until you get the ayah, right? So, and then you like practice it without the recitation of Mishari as well. You go like, ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين. Obviously, it's not going to come out as smooth in the beginning, but eventually you like, you get good at it. As your vocal cords start to open up, you'll familiarize yourself with the tonality, the melody, the flow as well, and it's going to get better. In the beginning, you will be very bad at it. I'm going to tell you this right now, you will be very bad at it, but you have to stick with it because eventually you'll improve. If you had heard me when I started reciting in the beginning, it was so bad, like I cannot tell you. I used to lock myself in a room and like close all the doors and close all the windows and everything. And I used to recite by myself when everybody was sleeping. Because in the morning, like I used to do it like after Fajr prayer. So like at that time, like when nobody could hear me, I used to like recite because I was so bad. Oh my God, it was so bad. But eventually, I got good at it. But Alhamdulillah, now I like even. I've led Tarawih several times. I like even lead the prayer as well and give azan as well. Alhamdulillah, like I've gotten to that point. But like it took me 5 years, yeah. Like I started when I was in 2020 and now it's 2025. So I got good at it recently, about 1 year ago. But that's when the vocal cords started to open up and I got adjusted to the tonality and the melody and the flow basically. And my voice kind of like started to resemble Mishari as well. It's not, obviously I'm not at that level. My Sheikh Mishari is like, top tier. But like, I'm close to it. So as long as like you're close to it, that's fine, because that's what you're trying to achieve. So that's how you do it. Like you repeat one ayah, then you go to the next ayah the next day. It's not like on this, if you want to do it the same day, it's up to you. But like you have to do it the next day. You do the first ayah that you memorized, you repeat it, and you're not going to remember it. You have to keep this in mind. You'll forget bits of it, you'll forget a lot of it, but as the consistency, if you stick with it, eventually, inshallah, you're going to, remember a lot of the Quran without even trying, because, your mind is going to get adjusted to the Arabic. Right now, we don't even open the Quran for like 5 minutes, but eventually, like when you establish a relationship with the Quran, it's going to stick in your brain, inshallah. So I'm going to go to the next ayah.
الذين يؤمنون بالغيب ويقيمون الصلاة ومما رزقناهم ينفقون
الذين يؤمنون بالغيب ويقيمون الصلاة ومما رزقناهم ينفقون الذين يؤمنون بالغيب ويقيمون الصلاة ومما رزقناهم ينفقون. So you keep repeating it until you get it, yeah? And what you're going to do is you can increase the range as well. So let's say I've memorized the first ayah, Alif Lam Mim, and then ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ as well. And then الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ. I've memorized these 3 ayat. So on day 4, when I come back to do the next ayah, I'm going to repeat all 3 but all together, yeah? So like this.
بسم الله
الرحمن الرحيم ألف لام ميم ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين الذين يؤمنون بالغيب ويقيمون الصلاة ومما رزقناهم ينفقون.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
And then it goes back, yeah? So like as many times as you want, you just repeat that. And then it'll like, ingrain in your brain, inshallah, eventually. But initially you're going to have problems. I'm repeating it several times that initially you're going to have problems, but you don't have to give up or quit. because that's shaitan basically. He's putting waswasa into your heart, into your brain, like you're not good enough, you can't do it, stuff like that. You just have to like block everything out, and you're going to receive comments from people as well. They're going to say, why are you memorizing the Quran? Like we don't need to memorize the Quran. This was like 1400 years ago. We have the Quran preserved in books, in like digital devices as well. So why are you, like wasting your time basically? Because in a capitalist society, we're focused on making money, working jobs, opening businesses. Those things are important. I'm not saying those things are not important, but it should not take you away from your obligation basically to the deen, to Islam. Yeah. So you have to focus and memorize the Quran if you've thought about doing it. And if like you're watching me and I'm telling you this, it's basically Allah Ta'ala wants you to do it. It's not like everybody can do it, but it's a mission. You have to stick with it, and you have to get. And the most important part is consistency. If you do like one ayah every day, that's like you have to look at it long term. Like after a year, you'll have like 365 ayahs in your bank account. Right now, if you're at 0, I'm just giving you an example. After 365 days, that's like 365 ayat. That's a lot of ayat. If you've memorized, like time is going to go by anyway. This year is going to pass anyway. But like after 1 year, you're going to look back and you shouldn't regret that. Like, oh man, like I saw that video. That person was saying like, oh, I should have started it. But I didn't start it. The year has gone by, and I'm still 365 ayahs short of what I could have been. You have to look at it long term. So don't just think about today. You're like, oh, I can't do it, and you're gonna have bad days. Bad days are gonna be there, but you not have to like I think that, oh, I can't do it. I feel tired. I don't want to get up. Those days are gonna be there, but you have to fight through those days. You're going to be like, no, I have to do like my one ayah today. That's it. One ayah, that day, done and dusted. You close the Quran, you go home. Yeah? And don't have to think that you're wasting your time. This is not a waste of time. I've been doing this for 5 years. And when I look back, I say, Alhamdulillah, that I invested so much time into memorizing the Quran. It has been the best thing that I've done in my entire life. Like you have to, when you go somewhere, the Quran should radiate from you, like in your aura. Like we've been like seeing memes of aura and every aura, and what you radiate is aura and all that. Your aura should radiate the Quran. Like people should come to you for the deen. They should be like, oh, this guy is an embodiment of Islam. This guy embodies the Quran. So, and when you recite, it should like be in the melody. The way you recite it, like people should feel the Quran, even if they don't understand it yet. They should feel it because it's coming from the heart. It's coming from you. You should radiate the Quran in your voice. So that is basically like I've gone like towards the motivation side, but like this is how basically you're gonna focus yourself on memorizing the Quran, inshallah. And may Allah make this journey easy for everybody. And it's a commitment. Don't think of it like memorizing the Quran in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. Think of it like a lifetime goal. And I'm telling you, eventually, what will happen is when you start to memorize the Quran, life around you is going to change. You'll see the things, you'll see everything through the lens of the Quran. And when you start doing that, everything that you do is going to change. Like it's going to be an embodiment of the Quran as well. So start memorizing the Quran today. Don't think about it too much. Just start. Don't worry about how you're going to do it, how long it's going to take, the societal pressures. Don't worry about any of that. Just start one ayah and that's it. You come back the next day and you do it again. That's all you have to do. Consistency and long-term goals. And I think the best times to start memorizing the Quran is in the morning after Fajr prayer. So that's when your brain is the most fresh. And I've realized that the surahs that I memorized after Fajr prayer, those have like stuck in my brain till like today. Like anybody can ask me from anywhere right now, and like I can recite that surah. But the ones that I did it after Fajr, So like the ones that I did like at 9 a.m., probably 10 a.m., they're like rusty still. I have to look back and revise those surahs regularly. But the ones in the morning, they're like stuck. They're like ingrained into my brain. And then first you've memorized it at Fajr time, and then around 12 o'clock, like before Zuhr prayer, I think you just do it again. Like just repeat it, like let's say 5 times, 6 times, 10 times, whatever. Just repeat it, and then you pray Zuhr, and then you go for a little nap. Like a kelula, we call it kelula. Go for a little nap. What that nap is going to do for you is it's going to like you reinforce the ayat into your brain again. Like the brain when you rest, it repeats what you've memorized, what you're trying to learn. It repeats itself in your brain, but in reverse. That's also something that I realized. That like the surah that I used to memorize, and when I like I used to wake up in the middle of the night or something, I used to be reciting that surah. It was amazing. I used to like be like, Yalla Ta'ala, what is this? Like it's amazing. So you take that little nap after Zuhr prayer, and when you sleep at night, you repeat it again. What that's gonna do is that's gonna cement the ayah in your brain. So at night when you're sleeping, your brain is gonna replay that ayah in your brain. Like it does that so like you can permanently memorize whatever you've learned. This is like the rule with anything, not just the Quran. You can do it with, and you can try it with anything. Like maybe like if you're doing chemistry or whatever, you can use this technique. Whatever you learn is going to stick in your brain for a lifetime. So this is like my 2 cents on how you're going to memorize the Quran. Inshallah, just stick with it. May Allah put blessings, barakah into your memorization. Make it easy for you guys, and don't give up. You guys can ask me anything related to the Quran. I'll try to respond to the best of my ability and my knowledge, inshallah. And anything related to the memorization of the Quran, I can like help you guys with that as well. Just stay consistent, stay with it. Don't lose hope. Don't worry about what anybody is saying. And inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to help you and put barakah in your memorization. And I pray and hope that anybody who's watching this, you make your journey with the Quran a part of your life. Continue to memorize and learn more about the Quran. بارك الله لي ولكم في القرآن الحكيم ونفعني وإياكم بالآيات وذكر الحكيم.